Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for the wonderful round of introduction. Seems some people knows my name. Maybe not necessarily my name, but maybe because of the name of Neil Armstrong, who landed in the moon. Well, so I have 40 minutes to talk to you, another 15 minutes to interact. So, I don't know, 15 minutes is past. 10:45 was the time given to me. Anyway, so we shall progress with the talks. First of all, I should thank Mr. Tousem. I think you're the one who stays in Korea? Okay. He has been sending me invitations. He has been telling me to do some brief write-up. Despite my very hard schedules, I try my best to find some time. So I think he has been very kind enough to do a huge publicity about me also. So thank you so much. But I did not lobby for it, okay?
I love you.
So he said many times that I should do this, I should give some write-up about some of the works that I'm doing. So I happily do it whenever I have time. So thank you once again for inviting me and the team of Dynamic Manipur. Well, I also, frankly speaking, do not have much idea about this Dynamic Manipur, but I come here as someone who believes in the power of dreams. Okay? I believe that dreaming big makes you happy. Dreaming big makes you become a better person. And India, if you have seen one of my Facebook page, 1-2 days after Modi was elected to be the Prime Minister. How many of you read that page? No one? Okay. I kept up the picture of 3 people. The former President of India, Abdul Kalam. The second, Manmohan Singh. The third, the present Prime Minister. These are all the people who think that dreaming big can make your life interesting and bring changes to what you are. Mr. Abdul Kalam, his father sells fish. He owns a boat. And before he goes to school, he used to sell newspaper. Okay? And what did he become? He became the President of India. The former Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, had to walk about 7-8 kilometers one way to go to school. Can you believe it? However, near your school is now in Imphal, I see all the kids jam-packed in that, what is that? Maruti Omni van. No one walks, no school children now walks to their school. Whereas our former Prime Minister had to walk every day 7-8 kilometers one way to reach his school. The present Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, Mr. Narendra Modi. You all know his background. His father sells tea. He also did sell tea. He used to sell tea. And now, what has he become? These are the people who is living the dream, who already had tasted how good it is to dream. Of course, I stand nowhere in comparison to those people, but I am also one of those tiny spectacles in the entire drop, in the entire vast oceans. Maybe a single drop of water, who believes that dreaming big can make your life interesting and happy. So I chose this topic, living the dream. despite your hurdles, despite your background. We have seen, irrespective of your background really doesn't matter. Even if you are sons or daughters of the prime ministers or the president or the chief ministers. Of course, I think, or Elizabeth, I think, are you related to our present chief minister? Okay, fine. She's also Okram, she told me so. So, irrespective of your background, it doesn't matter so much to live and achieve your dreams. Now, to start with, let me share a little bit of what I am and what I have been. I think some of you must have read in the newspaper, I just wrote on a Mother's Day about my mom. How many of you get to read that? About the Mother's Day column I wrote on May 14th. None of you reads the editorial column, I guess, then. All the students, you have to start reading them, okay? So that's one lesson for you. So I wrote there some of the backgrounds that I went through. Starting from a village, life was quite tough. Just last week, Friday, electricity came to my village. Okay? Last week, Friday, the village secretary called me up that electricity has come to our village. It's a history, right? Road has come to my village. Of course, it's not yet blacktop. Of course, it's just a fresh hard cutting. Now we're able to take at least a four-wheeler vehicle to my village. That's an achievement. I grew up from those villages. When I came down for my studies to a district headquarters in Kamengong town, how many of you have heard Tousem? Any of the students? No? Have you heard a place called Tousem subdivision? Tousem village? No one. Your general knowledge is quite poor then. It's one of the most happening places if you have been reading newspaper. You know, came down to the district headquarters in somewhere in 1989. My entire family shifted. My dad, he was a primary school teacher. If your parents also had been a primary school teachers, during those times they never get their salary in time. You know, they used to get their salary after 8-9 months. So I grew up in those generations with a very hard life. Went on from there, started my schooling. I really wanted to use, people talks about Imphal, right? You guys are living in Imphal now. So I used to see my sisters and my relatives going down to Imphal. I used to cry so much to go down to Imphal. The first time I ever came down to Imphal was in the month of May 2000, okay? When I finished my class 10 and I had to go to Shillong for my higher studies. That was the first time I ever came down to Imphal. Just imagine it. And the first rickshaw ride that I had was from the bus parking in Chile bus parking to the BOC to board a bus to Shillong. Okay? So forget about an auto ride or whatever. Even the first rickshaw ride that I took was after so much of yearning and desires. Now you can imagine the background which I come up with. Life was tough, believe me. Life was not easy. I grew up with 4 sisters and 3 brothers, 7 of us. My mom was just a homemaker. She never went to any school. She could barely read and write my local dialect. My father is mostly a carpenter. So those background did not stop me or my brothers or sister from becoming what we wanted to in life. I remember those days when we were in school. We had a thatched roof, okay? thatch roof. What do you call thatch in Manipur? E. Okay? The first time my family ever had a tin roof was when my house got burned in 1998. It got burned, so we had no choice. The present MLA gave us some CZI, and that is how we constructed our house. Okay? Sitting under the thatch leaking roof when we were in class 5, class 7, my father, my 2 brothers, my mom would slip away. 3, 4 of us used to sit down together in a kitchen. We used to discuss, I want to be an IAS officer. I don't know, bloody really, what is an IAS officer? But still then, I see the deputy commissioner in my district, right? I want to be him. To become that, you got to be an IAS officer. That thing I know. And my brother, my elder brother, who now is an assistant professor of English in Delhi University, talks about teaching in Delhi University, going to Delhi University, and sometimes dream of going to Oxford and Cambridge. I know, from where did he get to hear of all those? Studying in a very remote school, we used to dream, discuss, talk about it with my father. People say, and people must be laughing at us. I mean, my house is very much visible from the main road. It's somewhere a little isolated. But still then, people must be laughing at us. I am sure. Yes, they did. They do. We heard it because we dream big. But looking at the condition, it was so different and difficult. But those talks or those mockery by the people never stopped us from dreaming. We went to Shillong with me and my brother. We landed up in Shillong to pursue our higher studies. Despite the background, I got admission because I dropped my district. I got an admission into St. Edmund's College. I did my 11 and 12 from there. My brother got into for graduation. It was a very hard time. Let me just share you how hard life was. And in the end part, I will share you how interesting it is to be living your dream, okay? So, in Shillong, I remember those times. Every October, we have puja break. I was staying in a hostel of St. Edmund's College. During the puja break of 15 days, the college hostel used to stop giving mess. So what the group of students will do is, they will gather about $1,000 or $600 each. Then they'll run mess on their own. Believe me, in 2011, I did not have $500 to pay. My father could not send in time. So I had no place to eat my food during the vacation time. I remember I had to walk every day 3 to 5 kilometers where my brothers were staying to just go and have my food. That too just for 1 meal a day. If you know Shillong, my brother and all, they were staying in a place called Green Hills, and I was in St. Edmund's College hostel. I had to walk that far. Life was tough, and the ration ran short, even in my brother's place. There was a day when I came there and they prepared rice and dal and some squash together with a very limited quantity. Okay? Because they had no enough rice to cook separately. So they prepared everything in one go. So I told, okay, I'm not gonna have this now, I'm gonna pack it, I'm gonna take home because after I'm done with my studies in the night, I'm gonna eat this in the night. I took it. I went back home in the night. I studied till 11 o'clock that day without having to eat anything since morning, maybe a little bit of breakfast. And when I opened up the tiffin in the night, it was already smelling. Okay? It was already smelling. And that was the night I cried, you know. I never shed tears, as such, however tough the challenges are, I never shed tears. But that was the time I shed tears as a 16-year-old boy. I passed out my class 10 as a 14-year-old boy. I think, yeah, that was before I turned 16. I shed tears, and I prayed to God. God, see, I'm willing to struggle, no problem, but this is a little too much for my age. I want to study hard. You're giving me so much dreams, and I want to accomplish them. If I'm hungry, I don't think I can accomplish this. I made a prayer of a lifetime. And God never let me go through such a pain again since then. Okay? Life was tough, believe me. After I finished my 12th, I passed out with a very good marks again from Meghalaya board. I scored number 3. Okay, I'm bragging also. But never mind. So, after that, the dream was to go to St. Stephen's College. I don't know what is St. Stephen's College also so well. I got into engineering here and there, but I said I wouldn't go there. I want to go to St. Stephen's College. So I decided, I told my father, then I'm going to Delhi. So please search money. So he did arrange. My dad is an amazing dad again. So I'm so blessed. Despite if you have read, if some of you must have read, some of you, I don't know, must have read about what I wrote on my father's death anniversary. So, he never says I don't have money. That's the best part to me. So if you are a father here, it's one lesson that my father taught me. If the children wants to do something, and if he knows that if that something is going to be fruitful and good, he never says I don't have money. That's one good thing. He always says that I'm going to arrange for it. So, he left us with a debt of 7 lakhs, no doubt. Okay, after we finished our studies, he left us with a debt of 7 lakhs. He borrowed about 7 lakhs on more than 10% interest because of our studies. I don't care about those. It's all repaid. But that's what I appreciate about him. So, I wanted to go to St. Stephen's. I went there, I got admissions, and that's how I started my college life. Now, in college, life is different again. There is no much of struggle because, by God's grace, if there were to be struggles, there are too many opportunities in Delhi University. You know, if you don't have the pocket money, you just go for one debate or extempore speech. You go in there, you get 3,000 bucks, 5,000 bucks easily. So that's how I manage my pocket money. And all the friends there are all millionaires and lakh parties. They really don't care 10,000, 20,000 bucks. So if you don't have money, if you're not able to pay term bill, your friend will find out that you haven't paid your term bill. I haven't paid my term bill. They'll end up paying it. So that was a good thing. So I started enjoying my college life. And that is how I passed out. Then this determination starts. Determination. So that is a little bit of my struggle that I went through. Now, the determination, as all of you, many of you are students here, I want you to have a determination. Very strong and firm. That no matter what it comes, it should not shake you down. Okay? There were times when I say that, Armstrong, it is a little too much for you. There were people, when I started my coaching, people came and told me, I have written this exam 5 times. I've not been able to clear it. So Armstrong, you better do something first. This exam is not sure that you're not going to get it. Okay, fine. I listened to all of them. But something truly in my heart says, convince me so much that I will be able to do it. The determination was so strong. As a student, I want all of you to have those type of determinations. Since as a class 3 boy, when I was in class 3, okay, I studied class 3 for 3 months, then I went to class 4. Starting from those days, I wanted to be an IAS officer. I wanted to be a DC. So that memory lingers on. And today, because of these determinations, I was willing to sacrifice, make sacrifices. And I'm living my dream today. So let your background, irrespective of who your parents are, not decide what you want to become tomorrow. If you want to dream this and things that because my parents are this, my uncles are not this, my aunties are not this, you will be making a big mistake. You would regret a little later. As an example, let me just tell you here. If my effort is to just jump 1 feet from here, from the podium, if my effort is to just jump 1 feet from the podium, I don't have to make any effort, right? I can just, without any effort, I'll be able to jump 1 feet. But if my effort is to reach the table, I've got to remove my shoes, I've got to run from one corner, and I've got to give my best jump. Life is like this, friends. If you dream too small, you will need no much effort and you will easily be complacent. But if you dream big, and if you think that you are blessed with certain potentials, I appreciate so much Mr. Jitain, who is working as a very senior engineer with Samsung. You know, you all have Samsung phone. These are the people who design Samsung phones. I don't know how much his salary is, but I'm sure it must not be less than 2 lakh a month. In terms of Indian rupees. Am I right? My friend, my college mate in Delhi, who stays at this, what is that, yeah? Kaishamthong. No, yeah, somewhere there on the airport road. A very small town. Okay? He's now earning 4,50,000 a month. He's now a scientist in one of the best cancer hospitals in US, in St. Luke's Hospital at Houston. He's working there. He's just 1 year younger than me still. We studied at St. Stephen's College together. He's now getting 4,50,000 a month. You know, his parents were also just a teacher. He has now married an American. He's got his green card. So there are people like this. If you make more effort, if you dream bigger, you'll be able to put more effort. You'll be motivated. Believe me, studying for 10 hours, 12 hours, preparing for IAS is not easy, believe me. How many of you think that it's going to be easy? Is it so easy to study? It is not, right? It is so boring sometimes. Come on, let me be honest. Okay? Watching some movies. Okay? Okay, here in Manipur we don't have outside movies, so watching some Kamla Bala's movies are much more interesting than studying ancient history or geography or whatever. Many of you students must be knowing that. But you've got to make some sacrifices. Now, some of the sacrifices that I had to make in school days, those were the time when talab, I don't know whether how many of, is it still there these days? That talab that which you chew, tobacco product, somehow bluish in color. When we were in class 8, 9, it came. It became a fashion for every guys to start eating that. Okay? Whoever does not eat that, you're outdated. Something like that. I really wanted to taste it, but I knew that it's gonna harm my brain. That's some of the sacrifices I made. I decided not to eat that. Second thing, many of the guys, even in school days, okay, let me relate this to my 11 and 12 and college days. They all have their boyfriends and girlfriends, right? Isn't it? I'm still a bachelor, so I have freedom in talking about this. They do. It looks so cool to go out with your girl. For guys especially. To go for tuitions together. Okay? And in Delhi, studying in St. Stephen's College, it looks so cool to be hanging out with the prettiest girl, the most beautiful girl in college. Yes, I admit, I had my own share of fun, but I need to draw a line because I knew what I wanted to become. Those are the sacrifices. In weekdays, friends of mine would bunk colleges to go out with their girlfriends for movies. I say, no, I've got to achieve my dreams. In school days, people who were the bullies, who were learning martial arts, you know, they used to say, it's so cool to know martial arts. So after their school, sometimes they'll bunk their school, they'll go and learn martial arts, do this, do that. They're the heroes in the classes. But now what have they become? When I was in Tamenglong, they came and asked schemes from me. They would say, I'm married, I've got 2 kids now, you've got to give me some help. I used to tell them, dude, you were the heroes in my class, man. You used to best me up. I used to cry. You used to best me up because I used to be so small in school. I used to tell them, jokingly of course, I want each one of you students here not to be those friends of mine who could not see their dreams. They were so interested in martial arts. Now I know better martial arts than them. How? Because in training they taught me. Now I'm trained in martial arts again. For all those good things which I felt I missed, I'm now living it. Okay? We used to see America in TV, right? How many of you been to America? Very few. I've been to America. I spent 5 whole days in New York in 2013. This year, if I get permission, I'm going to Europe again. See, how cool is it? When I go to Delhi now, for all those theaters and movies that I missed, better movies are being made. Better theaters are coming up. You know what? In college days, the theater ticket used to be maybe $150, $80. For all those that I missed, now I go to Delhi. For a ticket I get for $2,000. I go to a movie hall in one of the best malls, reserve an entire lounge, pay $2,500, $3,000. How cool is it? I thought the best of movies are already made and I'm gonna miss it. It is not. Believe me, friends, better days are yet to come for all of you. Today I'm living the good days. I'm living my dream. Irrespective of whatever I was, whatever I went through, I've forgotten all of that now. It did not matter so much now. I felt it's worth the sacrifices. I remember staying in a place called Gandhi Bihar in Delhi. I don't know how many of you have heard It's like a village within Delhi. Staying on a 5th floor. Okay? Sun directly hitting the floor. On the 5th floor, believe me. In Imphal, staying in a 5th floor, it must be really terrible, even in Imphal. Stayed there in Delhi in a place called Gandhi Vihar and Nehru Vihar because the rents were the cheapest. I remember sitting there on an iron chair with a little sponge. It was too hot to wear shirt. All the sponge would be wet with sweat because it was too hot. And I had to be squeezed in a corner studying the whole day. And I believe that those sweats, every drops of sweat that I sweated, it's worth it. Because I'm living it now. Those bus rides that I had to take in Delhi, just paying 2 rupees per ticket, so crowded. Because I can't afford the taxi ride. In Shillong, every morning when I wake up, I have to go for tuition. I wake up at 5:30, walk for 5 kilometers to reach my tuition center. Because I did not have 5 rupees for taxi fare. Life was tough. Now I felt that every step that I took is worth it. Because now I go to Delhi, I get the best of cars. I am being paid for it. Living the dream. I'm living it now. So friends, first thing, do not limit your dreams because of what you are today. I want you to dream big. Something which you think is impossible. Make it. Dream of it. Write them down. Put it down on your walls. I'm a person who believes in writing it down. I wrote down all my dreams of what I wanted to become when I was in class 8. Okay? Because whenever I'm distracted, my writings will remind me, Armstrong, you want to become this, and you're going astray. So friends, write down your dreams. Today I still have a lot more dreams. Okay? Today I'm living the dream, no doubt. It's my dream to go to villages and work with the people. I'm living it. Whenever I go to Delhi, almost every month I get to go to Delhi because of my official works. After I finish my official works, I get to live my dreams. I get to meet some of the my friends who are posted there. And we enjoy a hell lot. I still have a lot more dreams. Becoming an IAS is not the end. By the year 2020, I want to go to Harvard, Princeton, and do my PhD. And I want to have Dr. Armstrong Pame. Government is going to sponsor me for that? They will. So, there is so much more that I want to accomplish. And I believe I will for sure. So friends, living dream is fun. Living your dream is fun. Look at me. You think my life is boring? Look at me. You think my life is boring? Sometimes it's so good to be anonymous also. I was just walking in the counter. Okay? No one knows me as an IAS officer. They told me to register. Okay? So I asked, guest speakers should register? He said, then they do. Sometimes it's fun. It's so cool. And you think I'm too old now to enjoy? Huh? I'm just 29, yeah? I don't think 29 is too old an age to enjoy. So, some of the prettiest girls which I thought when I was in school and college, I thought they will be gone forever. Prettier girls are still coming more and more. Okay, so it's not not too late. Once you accomplish your dreams, the prettiest girl will still be waiting for you. Okay? You don't believe? Okay? These days, one Bollywood script writer, he wants to make a movie on my life. So he has been putting so many questions. So I'm so busy even to answer to all of those. So, but I've been answering. It's a UTV motion picture. They're telling me that, you know what? They'll get Amir Khan to act for my role. Well, listen, the best part is yet to come. And they will get Katrina Kaif to act for the lady. Fun, right? And they'll come to Manipur to make a movie. Of course, I don't believe that will happen so fast. But they're writing a script already. The script is being written now. Just that I have to give more time. And the crew will come down to Imphal to have more chat with me. Okay? So there's no harm in dreaming. So believe me, the best is yet to come. Don't think that it's too late. If you don't enjoy now, you will still have lots more to enjoy. The fun will always be there for you when you reach your dream. So friends, all the best for all the careers and for all the dreams, irrespective of whatever you wanted to become, be an engineer, doctor, lawyer, IAS officer, police officer, no matter what. Businessman, give your best in whatever you want to do. So please do not be discouraged. If there is anything to be learned from my life, let's learn it. And life is so full of fun. And the sacrifices will be worth if you continue to give your best. So that's all I have to share. If there is any question that you want to ask me, I'm open for questions. Oh, okay. I thought that was a history song. That was 2 years back. Okay, it's like this. When I came as an SDO to a place called Tousem subdivision, that's my subdivision where I was born. Since no much important people are there, so to say, from politics background or no rich business guys, so it was neglected for quite some time. When I came there as an SDO, I had to walk myself to visit villages. So some of the villagers asked me, Armstrong, South, you have become an IAS officer, great, but you're also walking to the village and we're also walking, what is the difference? That was the first thing. Of course, I always had this in my mind that I want to do this road. So I sat down together with villagers and I discussed with them what is the most important thing to do. They said, we want road. What road? Which one? Let us construct this road. And let us make a road to link the highway, which is very near, just 30-40 kilometers. So we said, okay, it's a big challenge. Where do we get funds? We decided. So all of us has Facebook account, right? All of us use Facebook, right? You know what? Today, Facebook has become so important that today, if someone comes and asks me, I will buy your Facebook account for 1 crore. I will not sell it. Because this has become so important to me. Without Facebook, I don't think I'll get to talk to you. I wouldn't have gotten to talk to you. So that important it is. So I had a group of friends, even before I started this road, I already had something like 2,000 friends. So my calculation was this. I mean, of course, I did go to every big shots in the state, starting from my DC to Chief Secretary to everyone, asking, I want to do this road because I need it to get it done. Because this is so important. And everyone saying, wait, it's going to come. See, I told them, I've just got 1 year to be, 1 more year to be an SDO. So within this 1 year, if I wait, my time will be wasted. So I've got to do something. They say, wait, okay, fine. nothing so much happened. So I had to take up. What I did was, I started calculating. So it's a management, in fact. From my earlier posting, I knew some villages which owns JCBs and bulldozers. How I did? I went there, invited them for lunch, invited the village authority for lunch. In the middle of the lunch, I put down my request. I said, see, the purpose for this lunch is, I want to request you to give me your bulldozers and JCBs for free of cost. Of course, I was their boss earlier, so they had lots of regards and respect for me. I did my best even in their place. So they were, of course, shocked because no such request has ever come to them. And they do not expect it to come again also. So, an IAS officer, their former boss, asking for such a request, and it's such a big request for them. Because even a penny counts in villages. But since I put down my request, they willingly accepted it. So I got my machineries required from those villages. So now the main concern is for the fuel. I started calculating how much fuel would be used by each machine in a day. And for all the food and everything, I negotiated with the villagers. As long as we cut in this village portion, this village with volunteers, about 30 to 50 people every day, man-force, and the food will be provided for those people using the machines. So we had a total of 4 machines working for about 8 months. So all those things were taken care, and in the Facebook, I calculated this way. All my friends, out of 2,000, if 50% of them, say 1,000 of them gives $1,000 each. How much it comes? 1,000 into 1,000. It comes 10 lakhs. Then I calculated, I was a part of this one group. My community, the Jelengong community, has about 4,000 members. If 1,000 people contributes from these members, 100 rupees each, I still have another 4 or 5 lakhs. So that's how the calculation started. Then somehow or the other, while I was in the middle of the villages, one journalist from Times of India called up. Okay, Armstrong, we want to do a story on your road. I told him, see, I'm not interested, Mr. Sharma, I'm not interested in publicity. Very stuff. Okay. And he asked me one very, touching question. Armstrong, fine. You say you don't want to for publicity. Then why don't you put it up in Facebook? You think Facebook is not a publicity thing? So I had no choice. So I said, okay, fine. When I get back to Tamenggong or to Imphal, I'm going to talk to you. So that is how I gave the entire details. Then, on the 3rd November 2012, it went online. At 11 o'clock, it went online. Then by 1 o'clock, this story has either been read or liked by 3 million people over the globe. At 1 o'clock in the night, my elder brother got a telephone call from US, from one NRI. I think I've overshoot my time.
Continue at 10.
Okay. So, they got a call saying that my brother's name is Jeremiah. Jeremiah, I don't believe what I am reading now, but I so much do appreciate if it's happening in real. So, as my contribution, I'm going to send you 4,000 US dollars. 4,000 US dollars comes to about 2-3 lakhs. So the next morning, he deposited it in one of the bank accounts. We got it. So that's how it started. Then we collected over 1 crore. Okay? Those are just one part. Another interesting part is like, one guy just called me up from South Africa. Saying, oh, I'm from South Africa, a white South African, working for humanitarian cause in this part of India. I want to meet you. When can we meet? I said, I'll come down to Imphal on this particular date and time so you can come and meet me. I'm so big, no? So, The one thing is that we do not want to go begging. That's our agenda. We will not ask from anyone. If people are willing to give, let them give. So he came down with one of his friends. We met at Hotel Classic. We had dinner together. He threw a check of 10 lakhs to buy rice for the area. You know? So that's how it went on. I was just sharing with Sonia here, who is also an MCS officer, equally accomplished. Just the other week, one managing director of one big private company in Gujarat just inboxed me, Armstrong, I want your assistant. I want your suggestions where I should put my 10 lakhs on. I say, okay, fine. We're running a healthcare center in my village. You want to put your 10 lakhs? Well and good. He sent a 10 lakhs. I just bought an ambulance for my village. So apart from the official works, it's not that I'm not doing my official work, okay? I keep getting lots of awards for doing my official works. It's not that I'm neglecting my official work. I stay in the office till 7:30, 8 o'clock. So, lots of things are happening. So, road is just one of them. Road, we have moved on. And in fact, many people did not hear the second road. People's Road 1 has completed, was inaugurated in February. Right after that, we took up People's Road number 2, which was just 12 kilometers. We finished it, we inaugurated it. So we're continuing with so many other things. So this is just a part of the road construction. Anything from the students? IAS. Okay? You know why I become an IAS today? I think I've been trained quite well. My Christian background has also lots to contribute. As a kid, we used to attend something called Sunday school, where there's lots of competition. You come out and stand in the midst of the crowd and read Bible verse, sing the song, and all of those. Went to St. Stephen's, used to debate a lot. Used to participate in extempore speech. Those trained me a lot. And you know what? In the UPSC interview, I did not, in my third attempt, I did not score so well in my mains exam. But in the interview, I was number 1 in the entire country in English medium. Okay? So I think all the students, you've got to be very smart and do away with your shyness. I scored 225 on 300, okay, in the interview. 5 very old people, 3 times my age. I mean, I was just 23, right, when I gave my interview. People were retired, 65 years, 64 years old people. They were all sitting around, they were asking me anything they like. They asked me to such an extent that who is the president of India? Right, they thought I'm a kid. So it went on. So don't be shy. Yeah, please.
From my beginning, near microphone. Yes.
Good morning, sir. From my beginning, I want to become an IAS officer, but my parents forced me to become a doctor. So I want to ask you, how can I become an IAS officer against my parents' wishes?
See, I think it's a very relevant question, and now that it's a season for admission, you know. That friend of mine in America who is earning 4,50,000 now, he topped Manipur board, okay, in class. I think he got number 2 just because of 1 mark difference. His parents, the mother went and filled up his form, okay, brought home the form, and she cried because he refused to go and give MBBS exam. And the next day, my friend ran away from home, went to his uncle's place, and forced his uncle to take him to Delhi to study at St. Stephen's. And his friends, who had topped the exam, all of them had become a doctor and are earning 60,000 now. Okay? My friend is a scientist now. He had worked with the NASA. just imagine he's just 28. He's done a project with NASA. You know, these are the things. Do something that interests you, believe me. If you are not interested to be a doctor, please do not be so. You'll find it so boring. And especially if you are given night duty. Believe me, you will like to resign. So, see, I think one thing that our parents in Manipur, yes, I don't blame them. Because one thing they look for is security. Right? Doctor means what? Whether private or government, my son or daughter will at least have some job to fit. You know, we parents, okay, not we parents, okay. The parents, the parents in Manipur, or especially even in India, I mean, we are too insecure about the futures of our kids. We have too less of faith in the children's future. In America, my friend's wife, let me just mention again, her father is a millionaire, okay? But after she crossed the age of 16, she wanted to earn on her own. So she was working in a petrol pump, in a gas pump, filling gas. She earns $5 per hour. She's so happy. In Manipur, the funny thing is, even if there are some people, even after being an engineer and doctor, still continues to be fed by their parents. You know? So I think the parents has to let go. They need to have more faith in their children. I know IAS is tough. It's a dicey thing. But it's not the end of the world, yeah? If I can get it, why not you? Don't think that I've got it because of my tribal quota. Okay, I've been a topper before. Okay? I've scored the highest in UPSC interview. So, believe me, friends, if you are being forced to do something you don't like, you won't enjoy it. You will just be another doctor. If you want to be a doctor, try to be an extraordinary doctor. In whatever field you are, try to excel it. That's what I'm doing. I'm an IAS officer. There are so many other IAS officers. I don't say that I'm doing better than them, but I give my extra effort. Okay? I am one of the, I don't want to say the only, but one of the few IAS officers in the entire Northeast to be invited to speak in Mussoorie, Lavasna, where the IAS officers are trained. I just came back, on the 26th. I had gone there 4 times to speak to the younger batch of the IAS. Can you believe it now? I am now already being invited to speak to the IAS 2011, 12, 13, and the second phase of 2010 batch. I've already spoken 4 times. I've been invited to speak in TET. TET, I don't know how many of you have heard. It's an international organization. I went to speak in Bangalore, TED Talk. I had to turn down 2 TED Talks because of my schedules. So I try to excel even as an IAS officer. So if you want to be a doctor, try to be the best doctor possible, but just don't be another doctor. And if you don't want to be a doctor, and if your parents force you to be a doctor, you will surely end up becoming just another doctor. So go for your dreams. I think I've taken too much time. Yes.
And Jimmy tribe is one of the smallest tribes among the Laos, most probably. And it's one of the most underdeveloped area in the Tamil area. So what inspired you next is huge, I mean like the road that you constructed, any help from the government, what was the moral support that you get in constructing that road?
One thing I already shared, I won't repeat it. First of all, it's the background. And those people whom I grew up with, I owe so much to them, right? Become an IAS officer, and if I have to keep waiting for the government's money, I would have as well waited and did nothing. So first thing that compelled me to do was the necessity. I'm tired of seeing people being carried, I'm tired of seeing sick people, especially the pregnant women, being taken on a bamboo stretchers by 4 or 5 people. They're being taken to the nearest hospital. That's why I'm setting up a hospital in my village. Tired of traveling on foot myself. Even after becoming an IAS officer, I could travel on foot because there is no road. So those were a few of the challenges that inspired me. And then another thing is that the Jamis, they share the villages in Assam and Nagaland. Okay? If that road can connect to all of those roads, it would interlink all of those villages. And it would link them. Now, with that road, they can go to Guwahati from Tamenglong or go to Shillong. Okay, within 10 or 12 hours. They don't have to go through Imphal, Dimapur road. So I calculated all of this, how much beneficial it would be. So those were some of the things. I agree, we're one of the still most backward. Ladies?
One more question
Yes,
from the
girls.
ladies.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Armstrong Pame and I am from Harvard College. I want to ask, as a woman, as a girl, we are very much indiscriminate. People keep saying you are girl, you can do this, you can do etc. They keep saying this. But I want to ask, whenever you are in discouraged or maybe you feel sad or low, what the thing that you inspire you most? And what do you think about that? That you will regain more energy and you keep saying, yes, I can do that. What do you think?
Okay. To first of all answer this, I not being a woman. So my answer will be
I
very
think
different.
my condition.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. So I think, one thing that it's all over in our country, the discrimination against women is there. So I think the first thing that required changes is the mindset of mindset of menfolk, that women should be treated equal. That first thing has to be there. Second thing is the women themselves. Okay? They always feel that they're inferior to men. Invariably, yes, strength-wise, they may be. But I have seen some of the best ideas, some of the best things comes out from a woman. So, to be inspired and not be discouraged whenever people say this. I want you to have in your mind always that I being a woman, I am definitely blessed with certain potentials and I am second to none. Please remember this word. You're just not born to be married, to become a mother and die as a grandmother or a mother. So I think every human being created here, they're so special in one way or the other. The struggles that Miss Irom Sharmila is going through, various famous personalities like Bina Lakshmi and others are carrying on. I think the names of Manipur is well known because of them, not so because of the high political figures that we have in our states. The little piece of news that comes in CNN, IBN, in NDTV, is only because of those people. So I think women have lots of potentials and do not be discouraged. Continue to give your best. So that's all I can share from my little experiences that I had interacted with the ladies. So all the best. Thank you for representing the women force. So I wish all of you the best in life. Please continue to give your best. 5-10 years down the line when we meet again, I want you to come and shake hands with me and say that, sir, I listened to your speech this day, this particular day, and today I have become this. I don't want you to be some of those people who shy away from meeting me because you have not become anyone. I want you to do well. Thank you so much.